My dearly beloved, I gave all diligence to write to you of our common salvation. For there are certain ones who have crept in. I will therefore put you in remembrance, though you once knew this. The angels, which did not guard their first estate, but left their own habitation, he has reserved in everlasting chains under darkness unto the judgment of the great day, suffering the vengeance of eternal fire. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my brothers and my sisters, welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of Let There Be Light. My name's Brian, and on today's episode, we're continuing the book of Hanok, Enoch. Now, where we left off, chapter 13, Hanok, Enoch, was about ready to give his big reproof for the Watchers that came down and corrupted mankind out of their own free will. Now, the continuance will be chapter 14 through chapter 21. And this is that reproof, as well as the description of the massive prison that they are forever encapsulated in. So I hope you enjoy. Once again, this is Let There Be Light. My name's Brian, and Mamashpaka, may Yahshua, our Father, be with you. Shalom. Through Yahshua Ha'Mashiach Ahmein. This is the sefer of the words of righteousness and of the reproof of the Watchers, who are from eternity, according to that which he, who is holy and great, commanded in a vision. I perceived in my dream that I was now speaking with a tongue of flesh, and with my breath, which Elohim has put into the mouth of men, that they might converse with it, and understand with the heart, as he has created and given to men the power of comprehending the word of understanding. So has he created and given to me the power of reproving the Watchers, the offspring of heaven. I have written your petition, and in my vision it has been shown me that what you request will not be granted as long as the world endures. Judgment has been passed upon you your request will not be granted. From this time forward never shall you ascend into heaven, as he has said, that on the earth he will bind you, as long as you shall behold the destruction of your beloved sons. You shall not possess them, but they shall fall before you by the sword. Neither shall you entreat for them, not for yourselves, but you shall weep and supplicate in silence. This was the words of the Sefer, which I wrote. A vision thus appeared to me. Behold, in that vision, clouds and a mist invited me. Agitated stars and flashes of lightning impelled and pressed me forward, while winds in the vision assisted my flight, accelerating my progress. They elevated me aloft to heaven. I proceeded until I arrived at a wall built with stones of crystals. A tongue of fire surrounded it, which began to strike me with terror. Into this vibrating flame I entered, and drew nigh to a spacious habitation, built also with stones of crystals. Its walls, too, as well as pavement, were formed with stones of crystals, and crystal likewise was the ground. Its roof had the appearance of agitated stars and flashes of lightning, and among them were cherubium of fire. And their heaven was water. A flame burned around its walls, and its portal blazed with fire. When I entered into this dwelling, I was hot as fire and cold as ice. No trace of delight or of life was in there. Terror overwhelmed me, and a fearful shaking seized me. Violently agitated and trembling, I fell upon my face. In the vision I looked, and beheld there was another habitation, more spacious, every entrance to which was upon before me, erected in a vibrating flame. So greatly did it excel in all points, in glory and magnificence, and in magnitude, that it was impossible to describe to you either the splendor or the extent of it. Its floor was on fire. Above were lightnings and agitated stars, while its roof exhibited a blazing fire. Attentively, I surveyed it, and saw that it contained an exalted throne, the appearance of which was like that of a frost, while its circumference resembled the orb of a brilliant sun, and there was a voice of the cherubium. From underneath this mighty throne, rivers of flaming fire issued. To look upon it was impossible. One great in glory sat upon it, whose robe was brighter than the sun. And whiter than snow. No angel was capable of penetrating to view the face of him, the glorious and effulgent, nor could any mortal behold him. A fire was flaming around him. A fire also of great extent continued to rise up before him, so that not one of those who surrounded him was capable of approaching him, among the myriads of myriads who were before him. To him, holy consolation was needless. Yet did not the sanctified, who were near him, depart far from him either by night or by day, nor were they removed from him. I also was so far advanced with a veil on my face, and trembling. Then Yahweh with his own mouth called me, saying, Approach hither. Hanok, at my holy word. And he raised me up, making me draw near, even to the entrance. My eye was directed to the ground. Then addressing me, he spoke and said, Hear, neither be afraid, O righteous Hanok. You, scribe of righteousness, approach hither and hear my voice. Go, say to the watchers of heaven, who have sent you to pray for them, you ought to pray for men, and not men for you. Wherefore have you forsaken the lofty and holy heaven, which endures forever, and have lain with women, have defiled yourselves with daughters of men, have taken to yourselves women, have acted like the sons of the earth, and have begotten Nephilim. You, being spiritual, holy, and possessing a life which is eternal, have polluted yourselves with women, have begotten in carnal blood, have lusted in the blood of men, and have done as those who are flesh and blood do. These, however, die and perish. Therefore, I have given to them women, that they might cohabit with them, that sons might be born of them, and that this might be transacted upon the earth. But you, from the beginning, were made spiritual, possessing a life which is eternal, and not subjected to death forever. Therefore, I made not women for you, because, being spiritual, your dwelling is in the heaven. Now, the Nephilim, who have been born of the Ruach and of flesh, shall be called upon the earth evil spirits. And on earth shall be their habitation. Evil spirits shall proceed from their flesh, because they were created from above. From the holy watchers was their beginning, and the primary foundation. Evil spirits shall they be upon the earth, and the spirits of the wicked shall they be called. The habitation of the Ruach of heaven shall be in heaven, but upon earth shall be the habitation of the terrestrial spirits who are born on earth. The spirits of the Nephilim are like the clouds, which shall oppress, corrupt, fall, content, and bruise upon the earth. They shall cause lamentation. No food shall they eat. And they shall be thirsty. They shall be concealed, and shall rise up against the sons of men, and against women. For they come forth during the days of slaughter and destruction. And as to the death of the Nephilim, wheresoever their spirits depart from their body, let their flesh, that which is perishable, be destroyed before the judgment. Thus shall they perish until the great day of consummation of the great world. A destruction shall take place of the watchers and the impious. And now to the watchers, who have sent you to pray for them, who in the beginning were in heaven, say, in heaven have you been. Secret things, however, have not been manifested to you. Yet have you known a reprobate mystery. And this you have related to women in the hardness of your heart. And by the mystery have women and mankind multiplied evils upon the earth. And say never to them, therefore shall you ever obtain peace. They raised me up into a certain place where they, the angels, were like the appearance of burning fire. And when they pleased, they assumed the likeness of men. They carried me to a lofty spot, to a mountain, the top of which reached the heavens. And I beheld the receptacles of light and thunder at the extremities of the place, where it was the deepest. There was a bow of fire, and arrows in a quiver, a sword of fire, and every species of lightning. Then they elevated me to a babbling stream, and to a fire in the west, which received all the setting of the sun. I came to a river of fire, which flowed like water, and emptied itself into the great sea westward. I saw every large river until I arrived at the great darkness. I went to where all flesh migrate, and I beheld mountains of gloom, which constitutes winter, and the place from which issues the water in every abyss. I saw also mouths of all the rivers in the world, and the mouths of the deep. I then surveyed the receptacles of all the winds, perceiving that they contributed to adorn the whole creation and to guard the fountains of the earth. I surveyed the stones which support the corners of the earth. I also beheld the four winds which bear up the earth and the expanse, that great dome of heaven. And I beheld the winds occupying the exalted sky, arising in the midst of heaven and of earth, and constituting the pillars of heaven. I saw the winds which turned the sky, which caused the orb of the sun and of all the stars to set. And over the earth I saw the winds which support the clouds. So, if you look at your certain creation models, well, everybody's got their own kind of theory on this, but mine has a very, how should I say this? Solid structure to it, yeah. And all the things sort of happen inside this sort of crystal-like glass encasement, if you catch my drift at all. It's quite the, it's quite firm. with everything happening inside. Anyways, hope you're doing well out there. Is this isn't getting too annoying here? No? Yeah? Okay. I won't do that again. Back to the read. I saw the path of the angels. I perceived at the extremities of the earth and the expanse of heaven above it. Then I passed onward to the south, where burnt both by day and night 6 mountains formed a glorious stones, 3 towards the east and 3 towards the south. Those which were towards the east were of variegated stones. If you don't know what variegated means, it's like if you take a leaf that's got like different colors in it, usually it'd have like a white little hatch mark going across the outside. That's variegated. Anyways, different colors. Where were we? Of which was of marguerite, and another of antimony. Those towards the south were of redstone. The middle one reached to heaven, like the throne of Ahim. A throne composed of alabaster, the top of which was of sapphire. I saw, too, a blazing fire hanging over all the mountains, and there I saw a place on the other side of the extended territory where waters were collected. I likewise beheld terrestrial fountains deep in the fiery columns of heaven. And the columns of heaven I beheld fires which descended without number, but neither on high nor into the deep. Over these fountains I also perceived a place which had neither the expanse of heaven nor the solid ground underneath. Neither was there water above it, nor anything on wing. But the spot was desolate. And there I beheld 7 stars, like great blazing mountains, and like the Ruach entreated me. And the angels said, This place unto the condemnation of heaven and earth will be the prison of the stars. And the hosts of heaven, the stars which roll over fire, are those which transgressed the commandments of Ahim. Before their time arrived, for they came not into their proper season. Therefore was he offended with them and bound them. Until the period of the consummation of their crimes, in the secret year. Then Uriel said, Here are the angels who cohabited with women, appointed their leaders, and assuming many forms, made men profane, and caused them to err, so that they sacrificed to devils as to Elohim. For in the great day of judgment, which when they shall be judged until they are consumed, and their women also shall be judged, who led astray the angels of heaven, that they might salute them. And I, Hanok, I alone, saw the likeness of the end of all things, nor did any man see it as I saw it. These are the names of the angels who watch. Uriel, one of the holy angels who is over clamor and terror. Raphael, one of the holy angels who is over the ruach of men. Ragul, one of the holy angels who inflicts punishment on the world and the luminaries. Michael, one of the holy angels who is over mankind's virtue, commands the nations. Sarachiel, one of the holy angels who is over the ruach of children of men that transgress. Gabriel, one of the holy angels who is over the serpents, over paradise, and also over the Cheruvim. Then I made a circuit to a place in which nothing was completed, and there I beheld neither the tremendous workmanship of an exalted heaven, nor an established earth, but a desolate spot. So, let's back that up. Let's get a picture of this. There I beheld neither a tremendous workmanship of an exalted heaven. Okay. Nor an established earth, but a desolate spot. How desolate can you get without even there being an earth? Void. There's nothing there. There's nothing. Like there's nothing. Anyways. Prepared and terrific. There too I beheld 7 stars of heaven, bound in it together, like great mountains and like blazing fire. I exclaimed, "For what species of crime have they been bound, and why have they been moved to this place?" Then Uriel, one of the holy angels who was with me, and who conducted me, answered, "Hanok, wherefore do you ask? Wherefore do you reason with yourself and anxieties inquire? These are those of the stars which have transgressed the commandment of El Elyon. And here are they bound until the infinite number of days of their crimes be completed. From there, I afterwards passed on to another terrific place, where I beheld the operation of the great burning fire, blazing and glittering, in the midst of which there was a division. Columns of fire struggled together to the ends of the abyss, and deep was their descent. But neither its measurement nor its magnitude was I able to discover. Neither could I perceive its origin. last comment. So, after being taken into nothingness and seeing 7 wandering stars who are encapsulated in that place forever, he is taken to, let's read it again. He's taken to an abyss where columns of fire struggle, and it descends to an innumerable, he can't even count it, or measure it, all the way down and all the way up. Interesting. Then I exclaimed, "How terrible is this place, and how difficult it is to explore." Uriel, one of the holy angels who was with me, answered and said, "Hanok, why are you alarmed and amazed at this terrific place, at the sight of this suffering? This," he said, "is the prison of the angels, and here they are kept forever." Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, brothers and sisters, hope you enjoyed. That was chapters 14 through 21 of the book of Hanok, the book of the Watchers. Shalom, and I will talk to you very, very soon. Much love. In the name of Yahshua Ha'Mashiach Ahmein.